Three, two, one. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash. Not really. That's my pseudonym. Lest anyone ever accuse me of being an Akira Yoshida. I am Ash. I am hosting Storytime Live. This is Ash on Comics, a YouTube channel where I talk about comics and a bunch of other things that are come on my mind. This is episode 128. If you are new to this, if you've missed all 127 episodes before this, Storytime Live is sort of just a live stream where I hang out and talk about stuff and read some comics. Generally, we'll talk about half an hour. That's the plan. We'll set the timer. There you go. And then we'll get into reading a featured comic, which is Aquaman from the Rebirth era. This is the first trade paperback. So this is the third part. We are on issues 3 and 4 we'll be covering tonight. If you have never read the Rebirth Aquaman from DC, it's a good place to jump on. Not particularly issue 3 and 4, but we covered the 3 issues that are before this. Yes, there were 3 issues before that. I'm not going to go into explaining, but that's what we do here. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Corona Familiar. I don't know what makes this different than normal Corona. It comes in a brown bottle, not a clear bottle, which is better for the beer. So that's a good thing. Those white bottles, man, they make your beer go skunky. And it tastes good. That's all I know. It's got a heartier flavor than normal Corona. And it's the only Corona that I drink that I don't feel like I need to put a lime in. So, yeah, I like it. It goes down smooth. So, yeah. Send me some money, Corona. And I promise you won't catch coronavirus from drinking Corona. In fact, maybe you won't. So, you never know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not advocating anything. There's no scientific information being said here, but I recommend it. Delicious. Who's in the chat tonight? We got Melissa is first. Man, she was on the gun. As soon as I popped the video up, it was like, I think it was literally within like 10 seconds, Melissa was like, see you guys. I was like, damn, holy shit. And then let's see. I gotta refresh my chat here. FF2 was second. Man, FF2, you went from being AWOL to number 2. That's pretty good. Ed Brewer is third. That's a surprise. Glad we could pull you away from your video game there, Ed, that you don't play with me anymore. Guilt trip is intentional. But he says one of the better Aquaman stories. I'm really digging this one. Yeah, me too. I've never been a big Aquaman guy. For obvious reasons. It's like Aquaman gets a really bad rap, and the movie helped change that around. I picked up these trades, the first 4 volumes of them, in fact, on Comixology a while back, like several years ago when I got back into comics and I got into DC. Everyone was saying, "Oh man, this Aquaman's really great," and I was really big into the Game of Thrones. And people are like, "Oh, Ash, if you like Game of Thrones, you should check out Aquaman. It's got a lot of that political intrigue and stuff that Game of Thrones has." And Dan Abnett's doing a ton of world building with all the different kingdoms of Atlantis and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, that sounds really cool." So I picked up the books, and then I just never. I'm a huge procrastinator. It's one of my many flaws. And when it comes to reading, I really need a kick in the ass. I need to crack open the book. Once I do that and I get into it, I can keep going. But it's that first start. I'm always finding excuses like, I could play some video games. I want to watch this movie. I'm going to, I'll get to that later. Get to that next thing you know, it's like 2 years goes by and you're like, oh shit, I did pay for those. I should probably read them. So the good thing about doing this show is I can use it as a kick in the ass. And I'm like, you know what? If I schedule this to read on the show, I kind of have to. I have to, it forces me. So it's good. People have been right so far. I'm enjoying it. Although we haven't got into any of the deep political intrigues. This is we barely scratched the surface of any story here. FF2 says, "Sup, everyone? How y'all doing tonight?" I think we're pretty good. Ed's made chicken wings and Arnold Palmer's. Damn. I love chicken wings. Did you do them buffalo style? Because that's the real chicken wings. How did you do them? Did you do them like garlic or barbecue or some weird other hot wing kind of thing that's not buffalo? That's sacrilege. I'm a huge buffalo wing fan. Back one of my dreams. Dream big, Ash. One of my dreams is to actually go to Buffalo, New York one day and go to I forget the name of the restaurant that claims to have invented the buffalo wing, and taste the original buffalo wing. That's never going to happen. But never say never, I guess. Marania's in the house. Good to see you, Marania. Melissa is triggered about CW shows. Melissa, why do you pay attention? You should just tune out to the CW. Just pretend it doesn't exist. It's always triggering you. Let's see. Someone find Ashton Comics a lifeguard because he's drowning. Maybe Hasselhoff or Pamela Anderson can save him. I'm drowning? Oh, wow. Is my show really that bad? I need another drink. Man, this is good beer. I am not gonna lie. I'm gonna try not to lie. Let's see. Kung Fu Classical Western. Oh, there we go. More CW stuff. Just stay away from the CW, Melissa. Stay away. Any movies you haven't watched? I got quite a few. No, geez, there's tons of movies I haven't watched. I haven't watched. Man, COVID destroyed my movie watching. Mostly because no new movies really come out. So you're like, the last good movie that I saw, really good, good new thing recent, was Tenet. I love Tenet. In fact, I went and bought it too. So got to see that in IMAX. Consider myself lucky because most of the theaters were shut down throughout the year. And that is a definite IMAX watch. And I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan, so it lived up for sure. It's in the top. It's in the top 50% of his films for me. If I take all of his films and I say, try to rate him. I don't know where I'd rate it for sure, but I think it's better than half of his films. So that's good when you can do that. But there's really no films of his that I dislike. Let's see. Melissa says, I learned from a good friend to buy physical media unaltered by streaming bullshit. Sure. You can do that. I used to have a wall of DVDs. I actually much prefer having all my media digital now. It's too much space. And to be truthful, the older I get, the lazier I get. It's really nice to just be able to push a button. I want to watch this movie, bloop, and not have to get up and search for it and crack open the case and then put it in the Blu-ray player or the DVD player, what have you. And also, I like being able to like access it anywhere. I can pull up my iPad or my phone or my computer or someone else's computer. I can access it anywhere, and that's kind of nice. You know, people talk about like losing your media, like, oh, well, what happens if they change it or the company goes out of business and you don't. Yeah, I mean, there's concerns like that, but what happens if you lose your media? What happens if it gets scratched? You know, there's pros and cons to both. And I'm the kind of person that's like, if something were to happen, like let's say Disney got it up their ass to be like, we're going to digitally edit this movie that you bought from us, and so now it's different. Well, then I'll just go sail the high seas and download the other version. Like, it's not going to stop me. The only reason I, don't pirate is more about me, not about the law. I just prefer to pay for the things that I own. But if you're going to make it so that I can't, or you're going to take away, I'll go on the high seas and download a backup. I mean, I do that for all my comics. I go to the comic book store, I buy the comics, and then I download digital backups. So if my comics all go up in a house fire, I got backups of them. Plus, I like reading them on my iPad. I prefer reading digitally than the physical, so I buy them. They go on my comic book box for collectability and being able to look at them. I do like holding them physically, but it's so much easier. So, yeah. That's me. Let's see. But I can't think of any movies recent that I haven't watched. Oh, but there is a couple movies I did watch. Have you guys, there's a movie on Netflix. That's kind of new. That stars Jamie Foxx. And it's like a superheroes movie. I think it's called Project Power.
There's a legendary Yakuza who
shut up. I don't want to.
hand.
That was me pulling up Netflix in the background. I hate how Netflix does that. It's like, you're like, I just want to look at the website, and it's like, boom, boom, all this previews and stuff pop up. Project Power. Jamie Foxx. It's about super powered people and stuff. Oh, I thought my stream crashed for a second. Did it crash? No. Don't tell me it crashed. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry. Anyways, so I can't tell if my stream crashed. Everything just went dead on my side. And I was like hoping it wasn't me pulling up Netflix, and then I get paranoid because I've had my streams pulled from YouTube before. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Project Power. It's pretty good. It's not the greatest movie ever, but if you have Netflix, that's a Netflix original. And it was entertaining. It had some cool stuff. If you like superhero things, it's a different take. I would recommend it. I keep saying I hate that. So there you go. That's the movie talk for the night. Glad to be your kick in the butt to read this on Storytime, Ash. Oh yeah, thanks. I'm hoping you guys like it. Eric says, Ash, I trust you eat your wings with your pinky extended. Well, you need to ask Ed because he's the one eating wings. All I have is a beer. And, oh, yeah, I got these 3D nachos. No, not nachos. They're Doritos 3D Crunch chili cheese nacho flavor. That's way too much title, by the way. Doritos 3D Crunch chili cheese nacho flavored. That's too much. Anyways, saw these at the store. I'm a Doritos nut. And I was like, yeah, screw Pringles. People who eat Pringles suck. Right, Eric? So I thought I would try these out. Let's see. Let's have a little on-air taste test if you... They're all right. They're not really Doritos, though. Like, if you like Doritos, I wouldn't get these. These, they are, in fact, are almost exactly like Bugles. If you've ever had Bugles, which Bugles are pretty good. I like Bugles. They're basically Bugles with Dorito flavoring on them. But I don't know. So if you were looking for Doritos, it's kind of a letdown. I guess I go back to Pringles. Let's see. Because I'm running out of classic, it needs to stop. And what? Stay far away from the CW as possible. Yeah. The Superman show isn't terrible. I have to be honest. I thought that movie or that show was going to just be all kinds of terrible. And it's not. There is some cringe to it. And it's definitely like a teen show. You know, it's fine. But it's not super woke. It's just not really Superman-y. I mean, kind of parts of it are Superman-y, but whatever. It's fine, I guess. At least it's entertaining. And I've been watching through Flash. We're into season 3, I think, of The Flash. I don't even know where we are, but we are at the Flashpoint storyline where they just started Flashpoint. So it's not a great show either. There's some things that are definitely frustrating, but this part that I'm at is pretty good. So I'm enjoying it. I recently finished all of Cobra Kai. Oh, I love that show. Cobra Kai is so good. So good. Here we go. You can look at my Netflix screen. Right here. Cobra Kai. I recommend don't watch this show unless you've seen The Karate Kid. At least the first Karate Kid, if not the first 2. But see all 3. Actually, there's 4. But for the show so far, you really only need to see... Let's see, it references... It does reference all of the first 3 Karate Kids by the time you get through season 3. So I would probably recommend seeing all 3 if you haven't. And if you haven't, then and you're Gen X, I say, what the hell's wrong with you? This is a show that is for... It's not for teens, but it definitely has content for teens. It's a family show in a way. It's like you can get out of adults. And if you have older kids, I think they'll get stuff out of it too. But it's not CW-y. And the writing in this is so good. The budget is very, very low, but they make up for it by writing great stuff. Speaking of CW-y type shows, this show, Ragnarok, I stumbled onto. It's a foreign show. It's Norwegian. You can watch it with subtitles, or you can watch it dubbed, however you choose. I watched it dubbed. Normally I don't do that for movies, but I thought this was going to be a junk show. And so I kind of put it off in the background while I was doing other things. And I can't read subtitles. Like, I have to focus. So, and then it turned out to be really good. And I was like, oh, maybe I should go back and watch this again in the original. But it reminds me of like how the CW might do Thor. And you go, well, stop right there, Ash. But if they did it good, like it has, when I say that the CW, I mean, it's got that sort of teen feel that the CW stuff has, but there's no wokeness to it. there's none of the garbage. There's no like, oh, we got to make sure we get the gay character. Like, there's none of that. And it just sort of has the teen feel. But other than that, it's really cool. It's like after Ragnarok, and sort of like the Norse mythos is rebooting. And so this kid meets this mysterious old man with one eye, and his wife, he like saves him or something, I think, from a car hitting him or something. And his wife thanks him or something. And then she like rubs her thumb over his forehead or does something. And you can tell it's something mystical. And then things start happening and he starts gaining super strength and yada, yada, yada. He has an adopted brother that looks kind of remarkably like Tom Hiddleston? Anyways, it's cool. It's only like 6 episodes long. It takes place all in Norway. So one of the things I like about the show is that it's got beautiful sets. I mean, this Norwegian town, the wilderness, the glaciers, and all this stuff. If you are into shows, I know a lot of you guys like the CW shows. Check this out. I think you'll like this. You're like, wrap it up, Ash. We didn't come here to check out your stupid Netflix account. And I go, yep, you're right. You didn't. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's... Hold on. I need a drink for this one. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, I'm probably going to piss off some people here. This is First Comics news site. Experiencing Reign of X's upcoming slate. So, Marvel, in the upcoming months, has 7 new X titles. 7 new X titles. I think they've already had about 14 X titles so far. I might be plus or minus 1 or 2. I haven't been keeping super track after abandoning this heap of garbage. So this month they've launched Children of the Atom. Or last month in March. This month they launched Way of X. Next month they launch X Corp. The month after that they launch Hellfire Gala. This 12-issue series devoted to one night at a dinner party. Oh, you just can't wait to read a comic about a dinner party. And then afterwards, yep, the reason for my cackle. They're rebooting X-Men. Oh, I feel bad. I really do honestly feel bad for X fans that are being ripped off. Jonathan Hickman's X-Men was the 3rd reboot of X-Men in a 2-year time frame. This will be the 4th X-Men reboot in under 4 years. Think about this. Think about that. X-Men, the once most storied franchise in comics history. X-Men, the title that holds the single highest selling comic record of all time. The book that has never been a more dominant franchise, I don't think, in comic history than X-Men. Once beloved. So reason for so many people being into comics, including myself. And they can't even keep an ongoing series for more than 2 years. It's a joke. And guess who they're handing it to? Gary Duggan. Yep, that's right. Gary Duggan is getting his own. The flagship X-Men title is now going to be Gary Duggan. What a joke. And after the next month, we're getting some new X title that they won't even show us the name of, probably because it's so embarrassing. And then in September, my birth month, Jonathan Hickman's being given another X book. So for some reason he can't write X-Men anymore. He's going to go off and write some question mark number 1. 7 new books. This is a joke. Oh my God. Why do people waste their money? Anyways, I feel bad. If you're into this stuff and you like spending hundreds of dollars a month keeping up with Vita Ayala, Teenie Howard, Leah Williams, Gary Duggan, Cy Spurrier, and the worst writing Jonathan Hickman's ever done in his life, I guess. I just knew it. Marvel can't keep books going. Everything at Marvel is a miniseries. They're out to exploit you. I'm sure there will be a million covers for this new X-Men number 1. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's terrible. And it's funny when you read these sites. And now I didn't go to Bleeding Cool or CBR. I found this other site. I was like, maybe let's find something different. They always just suck up to Marvel. Like, listen to this. Reign of X is here. The latest era in writer Jonathan Hickman's revolutionary transformation of the X-Men universe is now underway, bringing with it exciting new titles from last month's Children of the Atom by Vita Ayala and Bernard Chang, next month's Way of X by Cy Spurrier and Bob Quinn, and May's X-Corp by Teenie Howard and Alberto Fauci, I don't know. And then after June's highly anticipated franchise-spanning Hellfire Gala, fans can expect even more surprises, including a trio of brand new series by X-Men creators such as Gary Duggan, Leah Williams, Pepe Larraz, Valerio Schiti. What an ironic name also to have from being on X title. And the head of X himself, writer Jonathan Hickman. I don't think Jonathan Hickman's head of X. This is the biggest punk job ever done. Reign of X is going to be rain on your pocketbook. I swear I feel the vast majority of people buying these books are the Marvel zombies that don't even read comics. They just collect because they're fans. And I see quite a number of those at the shop. They like to collect comics. They don't necessarily care to read them. And there you go. If you're one of those people that loves X-Men and you're like, F you, Ash, I'm sorry. I'm not actually trying to make fun of you. I actually wish for you to read great comics, which is why I try to do this stream to elevate good comics. I saw this happening, and Skip and I were just talking about this too, and it's terrible. Maybe it's not terrible for you. I don't know. Maybe it is. Speaking of good comics, here's the comics I bought this week. Blade Runner, Firepower, Geiger, King in Black, Noctera, Venom. Also, I picked up last week's Decorum. I didn't go to the shop because there was only one book. And then I also got a nice new shiny edition of Berserker that my shop found for me. So I got the foil copy. That book is really good. I wasn't planning on getting this book at all. And now I'm getting 3 copies of number 1. That is something I have not done since getting back into comics. The closest I came, I got 2 copies of number 1 for White Knight because I tracked down the New York Comic Con exclusive foil edition number 1. And I do that when there's a comic that I absolutely cherish and I love. I'm willing to kind of go to collect the thing, I don't like it. I don't like it as a normality. Like, I hate when they just do like, oh, every day, every month, every release, here's multiple covers. I hate that. I think it's predatory and exploitive. But if you give me something that I really like and have an attachment to, I'll do it. And so you say, but Ash, there's a 3rd copy. Yes, there's a 3rd printing of Berserker coming out. Final order cutoff is already passed. So if you're interested, you may have trouble because they're limiting the 3rd printing to a hard cap of 10,000 copies. Now, 10,000 is quite a bit. I mean, there are Marvel comics that sell less than 10,000 as a whole. So, but those are easy to get because no one actually wants them. This is a book that's very hot and popular, and 10,000 copies. Here, I'm gonna put this into perspective for you. It might be the second rarest edition of Berserker, second only to the 1 in 1,000 variants. Berserker #1 sold so many copies that you have to go to the 1 in 1,000 variants to be more rare than this third printing will be. Also, to get the 1 in 1,000, you would have had to pay probably $500 or more at your store to pick it up. Whereas this you can get for cover price. However, I'm expecting these to go like hotcakes. And my store said they only ordered 15. And I was like, you crazy? You should have ordered as many of these fuckers as you could. But they got one pulled for me. And if you see one in your store, third printing, I would grab it. You'll know it. The cover has Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves' character. We all know it's Keanu. Holding a spine, like a ripped out spine in a skull. Like it's pretty gruesome. But if you see that cover, if you don't care about speculation or anything like that, ignore everything I'm saying. But some of you might care. Let's see. Let's get back to the chitty chat. But yes, Eric, I do eat my wings with pinky extended. Unless it says I don't watch Netflix after the disgusting cutie film. Well, I definitely didn't watch Cuties. Ronnie says, I have to try Bugles again. The last time I had them, they disagreed with me strongly. Really? Like disagree with you taste-wise or like digestion-wise? I like Bugles. I would go with either the plain ones. They have a new one I saw at the store that I want to try. There's like honey. And I think that would actually go really good with Bugles. But I've tried... They have like also I've tried, I haven't seen them in a long time, but they were like a chocolate powdered sugar coated. They were like on like almost a dessert Bugles, but I haven't seen those in a long time. So normally I just go for the normal ones or the nacho cheese. If the CW did Thor, it would be Jane Foster and Odina, the All-Mother. Now, Eric, you know that it would be Valkyrie. Black Valkyrie. Because, you know, Asgard is diverse. Oh, man. We're going back and watching the MCU movies occasionally over here. And we just got to Thor. Thor's like the third movie that came out in the MCU. And I'd forgotten about it. I mean, I didn't really forget. But we know how we talk about, like, MCU is going woke. Dude, they were woke from Thor, from the third movie out. Like, totally Thor. Like, come on. They race swapped so many characters in this. Got Heimdall. Look, I love... God, the actors... I'm drawing a blank on his name right now because, of course, I'm trying to think of it. Of course. Yeah, you like him, Ash? You can't even know his name? I'm Bidening right now. What's his name? You guys all know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I love that actor. He should not be a Norse god. They made like one of the Warriors 3. It's like a Chinese assassin guy. I'm like, come on, what the hell's going on here? They had to get one of every race. Had to. Let's see. Vidal's assistant is going to need an assistant to write all these books. Sheedy was the artist for most part on Slots Run and Iron Man. He definitely lived up to the name. I love you guys. Ronnie says, I love Bugle. Digestion-wise, they disagreed, but it was during the time when ramen also disagreed, and now ramen's fine to eat, so I can try Bugles again. You know what, Ronnie? I have a problem with digesting ramen too. The instant ramen. And one thing I noticed for myself is that the brand name matters. I will not buy Marichuan ramen anymore because I find that one to be like the most. So I get the Nissan ramen if I can. That I can't eat too much of it because I'll still have problems, but it's easier on me. Let's see. Luxor's Multiverse says, "Hello, guys." Well, hello to you, sir or madam or non-binary individual. I am told I am not supposed to assume identities or genders or anything about anyone lest they be offended. So I don't know how we greet people anymore. I'm partly being facetious because I think it's stupid. But welcome to the channel. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope you got a nice fine drink. Eric says, Idris Elba, you senile old. Man. Yes, I am turning senile. Speaking of senile, my alarm went off to remind me it's time to read a book. So let's get to the book, shall we? Wait. I gotta make sure I put the book up or Maranya will make fun of me. There we go. All right, we are on issue 3 of the Aquaman run. We're going to get to reading it. Now, before we do, I will do my normal disclaimer. I am not a professional voice actor, and I have never read these books, so these will be cold reads. And since I will be reading them frame by frame, sometimes it's difficult to see who's talking because you can't see where the word bubbles. Sometimes I do the wrong voices. Sometimes I get my tongue tied. Whatever. You get what you paid for. So don't expect professionalism until you start paying me and I become an actual professional. Until then, I'm old. And, of course, Eric is out of here because he doesn't like actual comics. So he'll be going to bed now. But thanks for joining me while I talk trash about X-Men and sweet dreams. And don't eat too many Milky Ways before bed. That'll cause nightmares. All right. Let me get all situated. All right. Here we go. Repeat yourself, surface warrior. What did you just say to me? I am Merc, commanding the Atlantean Royal Guard. And I know who you are, sir. You can't enter the site at this time. This site is Spindrift Station. It is the Atlantean Embassy. Sir, Mr. Merc. Commander. Okay. Commander Merc, right? Now it's U.S. soil. We have jurisdiction here. You cannot enter the site at this time. What do you mean? It is sovereign territory of Atlantis. Bro, this could get ugly fast. Lock and load, man. You were here yesterday, right? You saw what happened. Terrorist attack, 9 dead, dozens injured. We are securing the scene. The attack was the work of a surface dweller, soldier. A creature of the land. Black Manta. We need to reopen the embassy and... Sir, your embassy is closed until further notice. We have to rebuild. I think I was clear, sir. Atlantis will not stand for the thump. What seems to be the problem here? Oh, they really made Aquaman a pretty boy. Speaking of pretty boy, Amazon has decided to crap out. Oh boy. 1 second. Pardon the interruption. While try to refresh the page of the and get the world's one of the world's biggest companies, the website to work. There we go. My king, this wretch is barring us from. Stand down, Merc. Jeez, it's Aquaman. Everybody stay cool. You feel me? We can't come in. No, sir. Sorry. To our own embassy. The State Department revoked the embassy status at 0600 this morning. Our orders are not to let anybody into the site. Sir, we don't need an incident right now. There's not going to be an incident. God, are you afraid of us? I don't want to be, sir, but we have good reasons. Boston, New York, Metropolis, Gotham, now this. Merc, clear your men out of here right now. Soldier, who do I talk to about this? Good morning. Oh. Is that the best you can do, husband-to-be? Not the warmest good morning I've ever had from you. They've closed the embassy, Mara. My morning swim was wonderful, thank you. Out in the channel, the seals were lively, with news of shoals off Bermuda, and the seabirds sang songs of Havana. They've closed the embassy. Of course they have. What did you expect? They're surface dwellers. They seize up on an ocean and cling on it like a limpet. I didn't expect them to rescind our diplomatic status. After all, we worked for it's, again, surface dwellers. You should know what they're like. You're one of them. Ouch. They fear Atlantis, Arthur. They always have. Atlantis and all the terrible, watery, icky horror it represents. Exactly why our diplomatic mission was so vital. Or is Madame Ambassador tired of her role already? Frankly, that Aquawoman costume was humiliating, and I have zero interest in explaining to the journalists how I managed to keep my hair so full and lustrous despite all the salt water. Can you bring yourself to play the diplomat one more time? Really? You're not giving up on this, are you? No. We've only just begun, and it may be the most important thing I ever do. Which is saying something. Honestly, I didn't expect you to give up, and the fact that you aren't is probably why I love you. Thank you. We'll have to go to Washington. Ugh. If we must, there had better be time for a proper good morning before we leave. Bow chicka wow wow. Yeah, Aquaman, you better give her a proper good morning. You know what I'm saying? Abandoned airfield, Maine. Black Manta, you got another name? Not one I'll share with you. That's cool. You can call me Blackjack. Who are you? We're Nemo. Means nothing. then we've been doing our job right. Quite a show you put on yesterday, taking down the Atlantean embassy single-handedly. Just a hunch, but you really don't like Aquaman, do you? You figured it out. I'm waiting for an explanation. I was in custody. You people sprang me. You must want something. To make you a job offer. Nemo could use you, your talents, your deep enmity towards Atlantis. Mostly your talents. You kick ass. Uncuff him. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm fine on my own. Hey! Ugh, crunch. Oh, crap. Ugh. Disappointing. It took you a whole 10 hours to get out of those cuffs? I was out of them in 2. I was just waiting for the right moment. Crack. I have a shot. Hold. A man of your capabilities, Manta, seems a damn shame to waste them on an obsession like vengeance, when you could be doing so much more. Just beating on everyone. What did you say? Hit a nerve, did I? Aquaman. Damn him. Nemo has no love for Aquaman. But what do you know? He's right about some things. You're wasting your life, Black Manta. There's a place for you in Nemo. We should have a proper conversation. Yeah. And then? Then you get to meet the boss. Washington, D.C. So, she never called back? Nah. No, man. She's out of town. I'm here to speak with the president. Is that going to be an issue? Whoa. Okay, folks. Thanks for visiting. But you gotta take it back to the tourist barrier, okay? Mike, look at them. That ain't no cosplay. First of all, this isn't how things are done, okay? We understand, Mr. Gantry. Tell me, how is a state visit from a foreign royalty done? Ma'am, I'm trying to help. I'm chief of staff, you understand. This wouldn't normally be passed up the chain to me, but you're a king, I get that. I'm taking this seriously. The United States of America has no wish to muddy relations with the Kingdom of Atlantis. I'm glad to hear it. Atlantis wants nothing more than a peaceful interaction with the U.S. and the world. I'm here to request the reinstatement of our diplomatic status and the resumption of dialogue between our nations. Our embassy was closed this morning. That's not a friendly act. Listen, Your Majesty. Relations have never been good, and that's a shame. During your people's struggle for the throne of Atlantis, cities on the U.S. mainland suffered massive damage. We lost lives, sir. Many civilian lives. And it wasn't the first time. We know so little about Atlantis, and what we do know suggests it's a real and present threat to our security. It took a lot of work to persuade the right people that a dryland embassy was a good idea. What happened yesterday made us regret that decision. A terrorist attack on U.S. soil. Black Manta is a criminal, not a terrorist. and his animus was with me was personal. See? You're admitting you bring trouble with you. What we need here is a rethink. We need to explore other ways to strengthen contact with Atlantis. The embassy is off the table right now. George. Can I call you George? Not really, but okay. Mr. Gantry, for our nations to be friends, as we dearly wish, we need a place to meet, a place to exchange ideas and to learn about each other. Of course. Also, I'm sure I don't have to remind you of the many, many times Arthur has risked his life to fight for world peace and the security of the U.S. Ma'am, your fiancé's service with the Justice League is exemplary, and the President has shown his gratitude on many occasions. That's not the issue here. The issue is security, and some guarantee of security. Mr. Gantry, I'm trying very hard to bring Atlantis into the world stage and dispel the fear. The USA is our closest ally. You know, I am also an American citizen, and proud of it. Help me find a way to get this fixed. Sir, you mentioned the Justice League. If you don't trust me, ask someone you do trust. I know Superman will vouch for me. Man, that's a name drop right there. You're just like, yeah, I know this guy. His name's Superman. You might want to give him a call. He'll probably say a few nice words for me. USS. Jesus, can you hold on a second? Time out. Can you? Who's writing this thing? Dan Abnett. Do you have to write a ship name that no one can pronounce? For freaking crying out loud. Okay, USS Pontchartrain? I'm sure that people know who that is, and I don't. That's embarrassing. USS Pontchartrain, operational exercise, South Atlantic. Everybody out! Secure the war room! What the hell hit us? Mayday, mayday! Pontchartrain, direct hit, amidships, hull breach. Easy, son, easy. Let's get you clear of... Oh, my God. In the name of Atlantis, the deluge sweeps you away. Ah! Then can I suggest a commission to examine the ways Atlantis and the U.S. might... What the hell? Agent Copeland, what's going on? I'm sorry, Mr. Gantry. Arthur Curry, I need you to come with me. Why? I'm arresting you under the Patriot Act for crimes against the U.S. Resistance would be unfortunate. This is the White House. What? 32 minutes ago, the USS Pontchartrain was lost with all hands in the South Atlantic. Responsibility for the attack has been claimed by Atlantis. That's not possible. Damn it! You couldn't wait? What was this? A distraction? You made a reprisal against the U.S. Wait, you made a reprisal against the U.S. for closing the embassy? No. Take your hands off him. This is an outrage. Stop, Mira. Arthur. Don't do anything. Do you hear me? Arthur, this cannot be allowed to. Don't do anything. This is a mistake. We will prove it's a mistake. Just don't do anything rash. You expect me to stand by while they drag you away in chains? That's exactly what I expect you to do. All right. End of issue 3. Dun, 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 dun. All right. You guys are not very talkative when I read comics. That must be a good comic. Let's see. Should I talk to Eric? No, he went to bed. Ed says Atlanteans are 6'6" at least. I know. They're like all towering giants. Let's see. Melissa says they're ripping off Namor. Yes, technically, Aquaman is a ripoff of Namor, but the characters are so vastly different that I don't think it really matters anymore. That was a long time ago, before I was born. Let's see. Dude does not look happy. Wow, butt shot there. Outrage. DC home of senile Biden. What are you talking about Biden? What does Biden have to do with anything, Melissa? Well, I like that issue. It was pretty good. A little political, but in a good way. Like, this is how you do politics, I think, in comic. Excuse me, I'm holding back burps. So when you drink beer, it's good, but it's not good for reading because it makes you want to burp all the time. I like how this is how you do politics. You use the fictional politics of the world, and you don't reference the real world politics of the reader, right? Politics exist, and you can have interesting, fun political stories, right? In this case, it's the politics of U.S. relations with Atlantis. Like, this is a fictional stuff. None of that's real. And that's interesting. Like, Atlantis has caused, they've attacked the U.S. multiple times. So that kind of makes sense why the U.S. would be hesitant to deal with them and things like that. But none of that's real. And I appreciate when stories are like that. I'm very much a lover of political stories. I think politics actually makes for good intrigue. We'll see where this goes. I wonder how much you guys are liking it. Ronnie says you missed my comment regarding Arthur Curry's hotness factor. Scroll up, please. Oh, I thought, was that the Bow Chicka Wow Wow that you did? I skipped that because I did a Bow Chicka Wow Wow, but it must have been a different comment. I liked it when Mara was like, "You didn't give me a proper morning welcome." It's like, oh, someone's craving the aqua schlong, if you know what I mean. I'm not. This got weird. I like this cover. That's why I chose it for the thumbnail instead of issue 3. It's a cool cover. Part 4, Semper Fidelis. Hillcrest Department of Homeland Security, Holding Facility, Washington, D.C. Mr. Curry, you'll be in here for the time being. Are there any, do you have any special requirements? What? Any biological needs we should be aware of during detention? Do you need water? Of course, if I get thirsty. Do you need the holding cell to be flooded or... Well, Agent Copeland, I would like a fish to talk to, maybe a turbot, and if I'm deprived of whale song for over 4 hours, I will become berserk. That's funny. Jimmy has slipped in. Hey, Jimmy, what's going on? We're reading Aquaman Rebirth, issue number 4. I'm going to let this all slide. I'm not going to get too nitpicky. I got to point this out. This would not happen, right? You would not arrest the head of a state, foreign state, that was, on U.S. soil for diplomatic reasons, trying to talk to the president about things. For example, let's say let's say we had the Chinese premiere over here, and then something happened, some Chinese people attacked a U.S. ship. We wouldn't immediately throw the Chinese president in jail. Like, that's just not how that would work. There's like diplomatic immunity, and you don't just do that. I mean, that's like a declaration of war, essentially. And this would be kind of really stupid on the U.S. part to lock the king of Atlantis in jail. If you don't want to get into a war with Atlantis, like you wouldn't do that. Anyways, it's comics. I'm letting that slide. I'm not going to get too anal about it, but now I just had to vent it off my chest. Ronnie's like fan self. Arthur Curry is a hottie there. Way hotter than the pretender they got for the movie to play him. Oh, come off him, Ronnie. Are you going to try to say now you're going to pretend that Jason Momoa's not hot? Okay. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to get an argument about, yeah. Moving on, back to Aquaman. You really don't understand me at all, do you? Not even my sense of humor in face of this. This is an awkward situation, sir. You're telling me. We aim to get it resolved without further incidents. That requires your cooperation, which you are getting. Mr. Curry, sir, if Atlantis sank the USS Pontchartrain, that's an act of war. The United States of America has every right to detain you as the leader of a hostile power. And a terrorist. Let's not forget that. The nation of Atlantis did not sink that vessel. I can remove those cuffs. So can I, with the flex of my wrists. I could just walk out of your prison and you would be hard-pressed to stop me. But I won't, because I will not allow the relationship between our countries to deteriorate any further. Leave the cuffs on. Consider them symbolic of my willingness to comply while the situation is resolved through good sense and diplomacy. Ka-tang. I'm waiting for an audience with their leaders. They seem in no rush to speak with me. This is a total outrage. Arthur has been thrown into a cell, in chains. Arthur has ordered me to take no provocative action. To just sit and wait. I am inclined to ignore his instruction. These people are barbarians. Surface-dwelling, air-breathing, uncivilized primitives. And I want to find their president and punch him through a window. Probably not the best course of action, Lady Mira. Atlantis. Perhaps not, Tula. My lady, the king made me regent of Atlantis so he can focus on the surface initiative. I am suddenly aware of the weight of that responsibility. The people in the city are up in arms over the news. They're demanding I take action and free the king. I have seldom seen hatred of the surface world more openly expressed. But I am conscious of the king's ambition to forge peace with the land. For him to submit to detention proves he is more determined than we realized. He wants Atlantis to be cleared of blame for this act, vindicated. And that very vindication may be the thing that opens the door to his dream. I know. When did you become so wise, Tula? Right. Who would have thought? Pretty lucky I did, or Arthur would have made a really bad call making me regent. Remember going with you and Arthur to the Sea Festival in Amnesty Bay? That was just a few weeks ago. But it seems like years. I remember cotton candy, the best thing ever, and playing a ball game on the beach with surface people. I remember feeling great hope for the future. Tula, you are investigating the veracity of the Americans' claim, aren't you? Doing that right now. Signal from the drift, milady. They are approaching the wreck site now. Thank you, Captain Siron. Lady Mira, I will contact you again shortly. Do nothing rash. Commander Merc, your report, please. We are accessing the wreck. South Atlantic. Wreckage of the USS Pontchartrain. It is a forsaken scene. All lives lost. No one deserves this. Not even surface scum. Merc, I urge extreme circumspection. American recovery ships are in your vicinity. There's been enough provocation for one day. I'm not stupid. Residue shows hull damage consistent with plasmid weapons. Atlantean war tech. The royal arsenals have been checked. Nothing is missing. No warcraft, no battle gear. Well, someone's found some or duplicated the effect. The Deluge possessed some. The Deluge was a small extremist cell, and Arthur stopped them. Maybe not as small as he thought. If they had one stockpile of old war tech, why not two? Commander! What is it, Merc? An Atlantean war sword, 5th Dynasty. A superb piece. Damn it. Listen to me, Tula. This is an heirloom blade. Priceless. No Atlantean soldier would leave it stuck in the hull of his kill. There was no fight. No panic to withdraw. This was left here deliberately to mark the act. To indicate responsibility. To discredit our people. Gah! Attention! Atlantean forces, surrender immediately. Merc? Commander Merc, respond. Submit immediately or face the consequences. Merc! American soldiers, special forces, we are discovered. Merc, break off and withdraw. Do you understand? Break off and withdraw now. Do not engage. Do not engage. Merc, do you hear me? Commander Merc. Your technology is impressive. Thank you for noticing, Black Manta. The Albatross stealth planes stay airborne for weeks at a time. That capability improves Nemo's global coverage and response. Where are you taking me? You'll see. What is Nemo? Again, you'll know, Blackjack. I've gone along with this. You can start telling me. Okay. Nemo. Nautical Enforcement of Macrocosmic Order. You people and your acronyms. Who people? Secret societies. Outlier organizations. Cabals of supervillains. Bet you just love to put on your capes. Gather around your big table and cackle. Coming from you, that's almost ridiculous. Irony is so underappreciated. Untangling your ugly acronym, your aim to what? Rule the world? We prefer control its operation. I'm sure you do. Using the sea? The sea is the life of this planet. It absolutely determines climate, growth, agriculture, transportation, communication, security. Control the oceans and you control everything? Yes. And we do control the oceans. Nemo was founded in 1872. We have remained entirely clandestine. We have grown. We have developed our techniques. Functional control of the seas was achieved in 1983. We've been refining our methods since then. Now it's time to act more openly. The nations of the world are completely vulnerable to us. They just don't know it yet. We have one last obstacle to overcome before we go public.
Atlantis. Aquaman.
Your appraisal is acute. The Fisher King is going to like you. Mr. Gantry, you are the White House Chief of Staff. What is taking so long?
Lady, this mess is spreading. I want to help you. I don't want a war. The last thing we need with an election coming is the prospect of a multinational occupation of Atlantis for the next decade.
I think you'll find an occupation will require you to defeat Atlantis first, and I think you
Oh, come on. With Aquaman in detention, I'd take it you're the one passing instruction to your people.
Instruction?
Don't play coy. Frankly, I'm pretty sick of your bipolar approach to negotiation. 1 minute, mock outrage at our alien ways. The next, innocent surprise that we can see how you're trying to play us. Your people are medieval. Your mindset is medieval. You think you can come to the White House and play the royalty card? You think you can make demands then attack us when we don't jump right to it? This might have worked in the Dark Ages, but
attack you?
Like you don't know. Atlantean military forces have just engaged us. U.S. elements at the wreck site of the Pontchartrain. You've attacked the rescue and recovery ships. What next? IEDs and life jackets? I'd throw the Geneva Convention in your face if you'd ever signed it.
It's not us.
It damn well is. This isn't how diplomacy works. This isn't how peace happens. You're just children on the world stage. You have no idea how things operate. You've been hiding underwater for too long. You're out of touch.
Then let us be in touch, Mr. Gantry. Or will America just bomb us into submission? That usually goes well.
Call your forces off.
I can't, because it's not us.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to get this Secret Service to detain you, too.
Mr. Gantry, where exactly are you holding Arthur?
The Hillcrest Holding Facility. Why do you ask?
Could you tell me about the deluge, Mr. Curry? They are a terrorist cell. Were a terrorist cell. Atlantean xenophobes with a passionate dislike for the surface world. I shut them down. So Atlantis isn't united in its desire to form closer bonds with us land dwellers. Of course not. Atlantis has been isolated for centuries. Its people are used to their way of life. They fear change. They fear the surface. And there is a sorry history of reasons for them to do so. Some Atlanteans are radical. I work hard to educate, to help people embrace the future possibilities and shed old prejudices, like any head of state. Is America united behind its president? You have no secessionists, no domestic terrorists, no struggling underclass, no survivalists who reject authority. The last transmissions from the Pontchartrain mention the deluge along with Atlantis. If the attack was carried out by Atlantean radical elements outside your control, then I need to be out of here in order to deal with it, Agent Copeland. I closed down the deluge.
I did it personally 2 weeks ago. They were intending to attack the U.S. mainland. Mr. Curry, do you understand what I'm saying? I fought my own people to protect the United States. It's possible some part of their organization remained. Let me return to Atlantis to find out. I can't do anything about it locked in here. I can comply with you by staying in this cell, or I can comply with you by bringing those responsible to international justice. Your choice. Whlang. Breep, 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 breep. Oof. Code red. Detention block 2. Ugh. Mira. Breep, breep, breep. What the hell are you doing? I've decided I don't like Washington very much, and I'd like to go home now, please. Mira, you can't. Breep, breep, breep. Shrink. Oh, lighten up. Opening shots have been fired. Atlantean and U.S. forces have engaged. Who ordered? Not you, not me, and not Tula. But war is about to break out, so we must break out too. No, no. I asked you not to do this. Breep, breep, breep. My love, listen to me. I admire beyond words the stance you have taken, to humble yourself, to be locked in their chains. Beautifully symbolic, and not working at all. Well, not now that you've staged a jailbreak. Breep. I could have asked, but you're very stubborn. Surface stubborn. Now you don't have a choice. We have to go back to the sea and stop the bloodshed. Breep, breep. It's a good thing I love you, because sometimes, ching. It's a good thing I love you, because otherwise the president's chief of staff would be unconscious in the Rose Garden with a painting of George Washington wrapped around his neck. Come on. Brap. Brap, 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 brap. Ching, ching. Sorry. A little accelerated dehydration. They'll live. Wow, that's a powerful ability. They'd better. How close is the nearest body of water? 8 miles. That way. That way? That way? That's the end of book 4. All right. There we go. Where was he? See. Dun, dun, dun. FF2 says, I like how the series shows Aquaman has to balance being a hero and a king. I'm enjoying that too. That's a really cool aspect to this. If he was just like a cornbally hero that talked to fishes or didn't talk to fishes, however you want to look at it, like it would be okay, I guess. But I like the aspects of the challenge of him balancing doing the right thing individually, but also the responsibilities of being a king. It does make for some interesting storytelling. Melissa says, I need a giant fish bowl of water and man-size fish food. Is that, were you commenting when they were asking what his needs were? Cardstock variant is in the house. Says Ash is running late tonight. I'm not running late. This is normal for me. I usually run till midnight West Coast time at least. So we're still got like a half hour to go. If I run the whole time, I might end early. Not a lot of chit chat tonight. Let's see. The drift is who nuked the ship. Don't trust them. Well, not the drift. The drift
Wait, is it the drift? Is it? I thought. Yeah. No, the deluge. Oh, okay. The next line. The deluge. I mean, damn those confusing sea terms. Yeah, it's the deluge. Let's see. Wow, that comment about big tables and capes, a jab at the Legion of Doom and the Super Friends, right? If DC Comics' version of Biden is just as senile as ours, War of Atlantis wouldn't happen. Or Atlantis would happen. Well, this was written well before Biden was president, so... and hopefully, I don't know, hopefully the president in here is a fictional president. I hate when they put real presidents into fictional stories. Like, don't do that. just put a President Smith or something. Some, there's no Biden. This book came out. When did Rebirth launch? 2016. So yeah, this book would have been 2016. So it would have been either Obama or Trump would have been president. I don't know exactly when this came out. Probably Obama was president for the first couple issues at least. Aquaman about to go full Namor. No, you can see Aquaman is a bit more tolerant and peace loving. And Namor would just start, kicking ass and taking names. I think Namor's kind of an asshole, to be honest. Namor really works better as a villain, I think. Ronnie says this is a proper comic book. Lots of action and character development. Mira is a strong woman, but not at the expense of Arthur. Yeah, I agree. I like that and I also like that she's flawed. I like that she doesn't understand the surface world, so she makes bad judgment calls. And so now she's actually hurting Arthur's cause. She thinks she's doing the right thing. She thinks she's looking out for Arthur, but she's actually hurting him. And it's not her intention. She doesn't want to because she genuinely loves him. And that's a cool dynamic. This is how good writers write, right? That their characters can be smart and yet make dumb decisions. They're not always, oh, look, I just make the perfect decision for every situation. That's such annoying to read. That's bad writers. And Mira's a cool character. I gotta say, one of the things I love about the DC universe as a whole is their female characters, but more specifically for me, I like the relationships, their male-female relationships. I just feel they're so much more wholesome, but I also feel they're so much more ideal, right? I think, like, when I look at the relationships in Marvel, there's a few. Actually, I don't know. What's the best relationship in Marvel? Like, Marvel is like dysfunctional relationships. All the relationships are dysfunctional. Is there one single non-dysfunctional relationship in Marvel? I don't think there is. Really, I don't think there is. But DC's got multiples. You got Aquaman and Mira. Hawkman and Hawkwoman are my favorite. Superman and Lois. I'm sure there's more. And I like that. I like that you can show what an ideal relationship should be. I mean, we're reading a comic book about ideal people that we should admire and look up to, aspirational heroes that we should aspire to be like. Then the relationship should also be that way. And they don't have to be like perfect like we're seeing here. They can make mistakes and do things that hurt each other and stuff, but still overall the relationship can triumph, just like the hero. So yeah, I like Mira quite a bit. And when you can make these characters it makes me like the female characters more. And Marvel tries the opposite approach where they try to make the female characters stand on their own. I don't need no man. I'm just as good. I'm better than any man. And you're just like, okay, fine. I hate you. Like, that's what makes Captain Marvel so unattractive to almost any man that has testosterone flowing through his body. Carol Danvers is just a bull dyke that's completely unattractive and no, I can't imagine any guy, like I said, with testosterone flowing through his body wanting to be with her. Because can you imagine Carol Danvers having a partnership, like a real female like relationship? Like, anyways. But here, yeah, Mara's a powerful woman, but she, can submit to Arthur, and it's not looked at weird. Let's see. If it wouldn't stretch Abnett too much, he should be writing Aquaman again, and also on the Marvel side, Captain America and Iron Man. At least he should be teaching courses on proper comic writing. Yeah, well, they yanked him to put on Kelly Sue. And then they had him writing Justice League Odyssey. That was great. I was happy with that. And then they yanked that. So DC just wants to fail. They don't like good things. They don't like when they're doing things right. They like to stab themselves in the foot. Marnie says, Reed and Sue used to be the gold standard for the relationships at Marvel, but these days Reed is a nerdy jerk and Sue's a ball buster. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Ronnie, but I'm not so sure. I go back and read those old 60s Fantastic Four issues, and Reed was... he wasn't terrible to Sue, but he was very much the epitome of a domineering man, and she, like the Mad Men. If you ever watch that show Mad Men, like it was a different era. They're actually kind of funny to read, those old 60s Fantastic Fours, because of that. The way he talks to Reed or to Sue, you're just like, damn, Reed. So I guess it wasn't completely dysfunctional, but I don't know. Even still, there is a dysfunction. I go back to like the Claremont X-Men years and the stories of like, yeah, they just, and how many times has Sue had her eyes on Namor behind the scenes and stuff? It is the gold standard of Marvel. Although I don't know, when Spider-Man and Mary Jane finally tied the knot, then the late 80s and early 90s, like that was the gold standard for me. I think that was the best marriage. And then Marvel, of course, can't have that. We can't have Spider-Man being monogamous to his love of his life. No, we need him to sleep around with every other character and have Mary Jane forget him. Anyways. These older books you have to read in the context of the time that you were written. Oh, I do. I do. I don't find them offensive, but neither do I find them ideal. I'm very much entertained by the relationship with Reed and Sue back in the day. I'm just saying it's not quite like it is here. And again, if you read Hawkman and Hawkwoman, man, especially that Venditti run, it makes you just want to marry Hawkwoman. That's how it should feel. When a guy reads the comic of a woman, it shouldn't be, oh, look how hot she is because they put her in a scantily clad. You can do that. Biology is going to trigger. But when the character goes, oh, yeah, that's the kind of woman I would want to marry, to be by my side, then you know you're doing something right. Melissa, I was fixing Claremont's run on X-Men, I believe. What did I talk about? Avengers 200 issue. She gave birth to her lover, who's technically her son, after that, and leaves to... What? I don't even want to know what the hell crazy story that was going on. So what are you guys thinking? Are you guys liking the story so far? I'm really digging it. I can see the political intrigue already. I can see how it's opening for the intrigue of, obviously you got this deluge. There's going to be splinter factions inside Atlantis that are working against the king. I like the idea that not everyone in Atlantis is just unilaterally like, yay, everyone has different opinions. Some of them are like, no, F the surface dwellers, let's kill them all, and it's gonna make it tough to accomplish Aquaman's perfect vision, his new world order, his great reset. See how I'm doing there? Aquaman is Biden. No, that's not true. That's impossible. Well, kids, I have reached the end of my beer. And that means it's time to end this stream. Looks like the chat's died down. It's getting late. I want to thank everyone for joining me. We're going to come back Tuesday for the final episode of the Aquaman run. That'll be issues 5 and 6. And we'll see where this first trade, The Drowning, goes. I'm looking very much forward to it. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope if you were not an Aquaman person before, if you're reading this, maybe it's letting you see the character in a different light than maybe you imagined. Like I said, I imagine Aquaman as a silly, crappy, stupid character, but I've come to really appreciate him now. Let's see. Aquaman, I'm surprised did not become evil like Flashpoint Aquaman. This politics done right in the book. The writing character development is solid. The art is generally solid, but they need to get Mara right. She looks awful face-wise. I don't think she looks awful, but, obviously every artist is going to be different. And we do go through quite a few artists in this run. If you go beyond this, Stepan Sajek even takes the reins for a little while. So is quite a few artists in this Aquaman run, and I think they're all pretty good. So if you want to read more beyond this, I hope that this is encouraging you to do so. So I will see you guys again Tuesday night. Quick plug. Monday, we'll be doing another episode of the Unnamed Indie Comic Show with Skip and myself. And we'll be covering Decorum. And Decorum's coming to a wrap. We're on issue 7, and there's only going to be 8 issues. So we're coming to the finale of that story. And then on Tuesday, we'll be doing another episode of the Storytime Live. And on Wednesday, we're going to be doing a criminal cast. We're going to be doing Cruel Summer. So I encourage you guys to read that story. Again, it's called Cruel Summer. It's the 2019 criminal series that came out. And it's issues 1 and then issues 5 through 12. If you matter, the Criminal Cast is a big podcast where we're just going to talk about it, spoil it to death. These criminal books are amongst the best things I'm reading in comics in years. Ed Brubaker is phenomenal. I urge you to try this out. Come join us, hang out with a lot of fun. And then Thursday, I'll be starting a new book for story time. I don't know what that is yet, so suggestions are welcome as long as it fits the criteria. Has to be something I can get on Comixology Unlimited, or something I own, or something that's donated to me. Cardstock Variant says, thanks, Ash. Thank you for coming by and checking it out. Hope you had some enjoyment out of this. Leave comments, feedback down on the below. And I will see you again next episode. Same Ash time, same Ash channel.